The exercise files for today's course are located in the video description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hello and welcome to Microsoft PowerPoint Advanced. You're learning with Mo Jones, IT professional and educator. For our advanced course, we have two modules, so Module 3 and Module 4. For Module 3, we'll take a look at how we can customize the PowerPoint environment. We'll take a look at how we can customize design templates. It's all about the Slide Master. We'll save a design as a template that we can either share or reuse over and over again. We'll also go ahead and take a look at creating infographics with SmartArt. No need to search the web for infographics. We can make our own. There's an extensive library of capabilities right here inside of Microsoft PowerPoint. Let's go ahead and dive in. Please open up the PowerPoint Module 3 exercise file and come right back. We'll dive right into customizing the PowerPoint environment.
Looking to support our channel and get a great deal? Become a member today to unlock ad-free videos. That's right, your favorite courses without a single ad. Interested in a specific video? Purchase one of our ad-free courses individually. Looking for even more? Gain access to exams, certificates, and exclusive content at LearnitAnytime.com. More information can be found in the video description below.
I currently have my Module 3 practice file open here, and here we have a few slides. And here is Lesson 1, customizing the environment. So one of the things that we'll do is we'll go ahead and create our own ribbon tab, and then we'll add our own commands to it. And then we'll also go ahead and set some global options, just some useful options that may help us as well. In particular, what I would like to do is add some of these tools that will help me as I'm designing my presentation, such as the animation pane, the beloved eyedropper, the selection pane that helps us to organize objects on a slide, and of course the Slide Master. So to do that, right now, in order to get to the eyedropper, I could add it to my quick access toolbar. That's one thing that I can do. Or I need to be interacting with an object, and then I can go ahead and pull up the eyedropper from there as well. But what if I don't feel like clicking on the contextual tab, clicking on shape fill, and clicking on the eyedropper? Well, let's go ahead and add our own ribbon tab. We're going to right click on any one of these tabs and just click on the option that says customize the ribbon. So I'll click on customize the ribbon. We get to this PowerPoint options dialog, and on the left we can see that we can customize the ribbon. Here are all the commands, well, at least the popular commands. I'm going to change this to all commands. So I'll change this to all commands. Now I can see all the commands that are in PowerPoint. Over here on the right, I can see that I have I can see the tabs that I have here. So for example, here's the Home tab, and the Home tab has the clipboard command group, paragraph, so forth and so on. Well, I want to create my own. As you can see, I do have a couple of pre-made ones here as well. So for example, I created a tab called My Designs, and let's see what that looks like here. So when I created this tab, it comes with a tab and then a command group. And then I have my commands down here as well. I'm going to turn this on. Let's see what this looks like here. And then we'll go ahead and recreate it. So if I enable that, I'll go ahead and find it here on my ribbon. Here it is, My Designs. So now if I click on My Designs, I can quickly access the animation pane. I can turn on the eyedropper right away and apply a particular color to that content placeholder there if I want to. And I can also turn on the selection pane. Take a look at all the different objects on my slide. I can also access the Slide Master right from here as well. So that's what we can do. So let's go ahead and create our own. Let's go back to customize the ribbon here. And to do that, the first thing we need to do is click on the New Tab option here. So we'll click on New Tab. So here is our new tab right here. Has a generic name, New Tab. It has a generic command group, let's go ahead and rename both of those. So for the new tab, I'll click on rename. Maybe I'll call that Design 24. Go ahead and press OK. And for the command group, I'll rename that as well. I'll click on rename. You can also choose an icon if you want to. I'll go ahead and choose this here, and the display name is going to be called Design Tools. Go ahead and press OK. So I'm good to go. I have my design tab. Here's my command group. The next thing for me to do is to go ahead and actually add commands to that particular command group. So I want to make sure I have design tools selected here, and I'll change the commands from popular commands to all commands. So now what I can do is I can type the letter E. This will bring me down to the E commands. I want to look for the eyedropper. Here it is. I'll add the eyedropper in there so we can see how this works. So here's level 1, which is the actual tab. Level 2, which is the command group. And then we have level 3, which is the actual command. So let's go ahead and add some more. I'm going to go ahead and add the slide master. So I'll type the letter S and I'll look for the slide master here. And again, you can pretty much add any command that you want. I'll just click on slide master. I'll also turn on the selection pane. And here we go. I'll add that. And I'll keep it simple. I'll just add one more. I'll go back to the A group and I'll add the animation pane. And I'm good to go. Here are my 4 commands. I'll press OK. And I'll go ahead and locate Design 24. Here it is right here. And from here, I can go ahead and I could even create another command group, name that, and add my own commands in here as well. And I can keep going as well. So that's what we want to do. So go ahead and customize your ribbon. Go ahead and create a ribbon tab. Rename the command group. Go ahead and add some commands there as well and come right back. Now that we are able to create our own tab, so here are my 2 tabs here. The next thing we can do is turn on some useful options. I'll go back here, I'll right click on any of these ribbon tabs, and I'll go back to customizing the ribbon. This brings me to the PowerPoint options dialog here. So I'll go back to the general here, and some of these are turned on by default, but I find these to be pretty helpful when you're designing your presentation. So the first tab here on the general tab, I can see that I have some user interface options. Now, if you're using 2 monitors, you may notice that when you move your application from one window to the next, you may have some appearance issues here as well. So you may want to go ahead and optimize for best appearance when you're using multiple displays. If you just kind of hover over the little information icon, it gives you some more information here as well. Right? So you can toggle it back and forth, optimize for compatibility or optimize for best appearance. I like the mini toolbar on selection. This is pretty much whenever you highlight a chunk of text, it gives you the mini tool that allows you to do some quick formatting. A big part of designing in PowerPoint is live preview. So for example, before we apply a particular style or some type of feature, we can get a preview just by hovering the mouse over it. So I like to leave that turned on there as well. For those of us who like to collapse the ribbon, remember we can always change the ribbon display options. I like to see the full ribbon, so I'm good to go. You may want to collapse the Microsoft search box. As you can see, I do have it over here. It is currently minimized, and this allows me a little more room if I'm using my quick access toolbar. I have some more room over here to work with as well. So I can do that if I want to. I'll scroll down a little bit. Here's the PowerPoint designer. So when you're designing, you're either using a theme, you're using the slide master, or you're using the PowerPoint designer. I have it turned off right now because I'm going to be using the Slide Master to design my presentation as well. If we go down to the save, go down to the preserve fidelity when sharing this presentation. If you're using special fonts in your presentation, if your recipient does not have that particular font or set of fonts, they will not be displayed properly. So you may want to embed the fonts in the file so that even though they don't have those fonts installed, they will still be able to view them as well. So that's another nice option to be able to use there. The other ones here, in terms of advanced, when it comes to printing, we can print true type fonts as graphics. So that's another nice option there as well that we can use. And of course, if we go to the quick access toolbar here, just like how we can add any command to the ribbon tab that we created, here are the current commands that are on my quick access toolbar. But I do have access to the entire library. So if I change this to all commands, I can add any command to my quick access toolbar. And because I minimize the search box here, I have a lot of room over here to be able to add some of those commands as well. So those are just some options that may help you as you continue to create designs in PowerPoint. Let's move on to lesson 2, designing with the Slide Master. Now, what is the Slide Master? Let's go ahead and take a look at the Slide Master. To get there, I need to go ahead and click on the View tab and get to the actual Slide Master. Once I'm there, I can do something like insert a layout, I can rename a layout, and I can insert content placeholders as well. Let's do something simple in the Slide Master. Let's go ahead and make universal changes to our entire presentation. For example, we often do this. For each slide, maybe we want to go ahead and change the title. Maybe we want to go ahead and do something like change the font. I'll go for this one and change the color. And then go ahead and change the size. We go to our next slide. We do the same thing. Well, we don't have to do that. Instead of going to every single slide and changing the formatting options for all of our title placeholders, we can do that in the Slide Master. So I'm going to go ahead and undo all those changes. I'll press Ctrl Z a few times here. Now I'm back to normal. Let's head on over to the Slide Master. I'll click on the View tab. And once I'm on the View tab, all the way to the far left, we'll see the Slide Master. Let's hover over the Slide Master and see what it says. So Slide Master, it controls the look of your entire presentation, including colors, fonts, backgrounds, effects, and just about everything else. So I can insert a shape or a logo, and it will show up on all of my slides automatically. Well, that sounds pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and click on the Slide Master here. Now here, we can notice that we have a different view. Now we're in the Slide Master view. We can see that we now have the Slide Master tab, and we have some command groups here that are specific to our Slide Master. Now, important to note, on the left, we'll have different types of slides. What I want to do is scroll all the way to the top here, and you'll notice all the way at the very top, we'll notice that a slide is bigger than all of our other slides. So in fact, this is the actual Slide Master. The other slides that we see here, these are the different layouts. So here's the title and content layout. Here's the to content layout. Here's the comparison layout. So that's what that is. I'm going to go ahead and click on the actual Slide Master here. And let's just get a good understanding of how this works. So whatever changes I make to this slide, it's going to affect all of my slides, regardless of what type of layout it is. So I'm just going to do something simple. I'll go ahead and I want all of my title slides to be a particular font, color, and size. So I'll go ahead and highlight these. I'll go back to the Home tab, and I'll go ahead and apply the formatting there. Once we apply the formatting, we'll close the Slide Master and take a look and see how our slides have been updated. Okay, I'll change this font here. I'm going to go with the Georgia font. Right, so here's Georgia. And I want it to be that nice Georgia blue. And I'll make it 40. And that's it. Now, if you take a look, you'll notice, take a look at my different layouts. So here's the title slide. We can see that the title slide is already incorporating that formatting that I just applied. Here's the title and content slide layout. And we can see it's also incorporating that format that I've made to the Slide Master. Let's go back to the Slide Master. Let's go ahead and close the master view. This will put our presentation back to the original or normal view. And let's take a look to see if our slides were updated. And we can see that they were. So here's my title slide. Here's slide number 2. So all of my slides now have that universal formatting for my title. Let's take it a step further. Let's go back into the Slide Master and let's see what else we can do here. Again, I want to make sure I click on that very top slide here. And what I'm going to do is for all of my level, I'm going to change my bullets actually. So I'm going to highlight these 5 bullet levels here. And I'll go to the Home tab, and instead of having those regular bullets, maybe I want something like hollow squares. So I'll go ahead and choose hollow squares. And for my level 1 item, maybe I want that to be, let's say, orange. My level 2 items on the list, maybe I want that to be, we'll go with purple. And that's it. Let's go ahead and analyze our slides and see if it incorporates these formatting changes. I'll go back to the Slide Master. I'll click on Close Master View. And look at that. All of my level 1 bullet points are orange, and it has the hollow squares here as well. If I go back to slide number 2, we can see all of those formatting changes have been applied here. The title, Georgia, 40, blue. Level 1, orange with the hollow squares. Level 2 bullet items or list items, purple with the hollow square as well. So those are some of the universal changes that we can make with the Slide Master. Now just one more thing to note, I'll go back into the Slide Master here. So I have 2 options. What I did initially is I chose the master slide. So this applies the formatting to every single slide. What if I only wanted to make some changes to my, let's see if I hover over this one. So this is title and content. It's currently being used by slides 2 to 3 and 5 to 7. So if I wanted to format only this particular slide layout, I can do that here as well. So for my 3rd level here, I'll go ahead and make this, let's see, I'll make this green. Like that. It's only going to affect my title and content layout. So let's go back here. I'll close the master view. And so this is a, let's see, lesson 1. This is a title and content. Let's add a 3rd level item. And there you go. We can see that it's already green. If I go to another layout, let's see, do I have a 2 content layout in here? Well, let's just insert a 2 content layout slide. Okay, so here's level 1, here's level 2, and here's level 3. So we can see that level 3 item only applies to that particular type of slide. So we can either make universal changes to the entire presentation or to specific slides as well. Go ahead and make some simple changes in the Slide Master and preview it and come right back. Let's continue fun with the Slide Master. Well, what I want to do now is create a custom slide layout. If I click on New Slide here, here are the different layouts that are available based on the current theme that I'm using. Now, I don't have the particular layout that I'm looking for. Basically what I want is a 3 content layout. So I have title and content, I have 2 content. I want a slide that has 3 columns. That way I can easily express 3 concepts or 3 main keys or 3 main ideas here. So I don't have one. So what I can do is create my own layout. Let's go ahead and do that. I'll click on the View tab here and I'll click on the Slide Master. Now I have 2 options. I can either just kind of duplicate an existing slide and just make a basic update, or I can insert a new layout. I'll keep it simple. I'll use it based on the 2 content layout here. So in the Slide Master, I'll click on the 2 content layout. So we have 2 content here, but I want 3. So what I'm going to do is duplicate this slide and just resize these placeholders and place one here in the middle. So I'm going to right click on this layout and I'll choose the duplicate layout option here. I can see it's duplicated. It's the exact replica of the one above. So on the duplicated layout, I want to rename it first. So we'll duplicate it, rename it, and then we'll go ahead and format it. So I'll right click on it. I'll choose rename. I can also click right here to rename it. I'll right click, I'll rename, and I'll call this one 3 content. I'll press rename and I'm good to go. So now what I can do, I can just go ahead and resize these. So I'll go ahead and grab the content placeholder on the left here and I'm just going to resize it. I do have the footers down here on the bottom, so I'll make sure it's the same width as my footers. The one on the right, I'll grab the resize handle and I'll snap it to that footer on the bottom right here. Now I have space in the middle to put a bigger one. I could resize them, make them all the same size if I want to, but I'll just insert one here in the middle. So to do that, I'll click on where it says Insert Placeholder. So under the Master Layout command group, under the Slide Master, I'll insert a placeholder. Now here are the different placeholders that we can insert. The content, basically, we can add anything. Text, picture, chart, table, SmartArt, media. Text is just for text only. Picture, chart, table. Well, I want a content placeholder that can pretty much add anything. So I'll click on content. And just like a text box, I have to draw it. So I'll go ahead and draw it here. We can always resize it later. Right now, I just want to use those temporary guides to make sure they're the same height as the other 2. And I'll snap this right here. And I think I'd like to go ahead and center align my title as well. So there we go. Let's go ahead and close the master view. Let's go ahead and insert this slide and let's see what this slide layout looks like. So now, how do I find it? If I click on New Slide, I can see here is my 3 content layout. So pretty cool. So now I can always use this slide layout whenever I want to. I'll go ahead and insert that here, and there it is. So I can add my title, and I have my content placeholder here on the left, the middle, and on the right. So pretty nice as well. Go ahead and create a 3 content layout. Go ahead and insert it into your presentation and come right back. Welcome back. Let's go ahead for lesson 2. Let's go ahead and create a custom slide that we can use over and over again. I'm going to head on over to my title slide. Now I did insert a image on my title slide. The reason I do that is because I want to gain some insights from the designer. So the designer really likes pictures. So if you add an image to your slide, you'll get some more vibrant looking options here as well. I'm not going to insert any of them. I just want to get some insights in terms of what is modern and what looks pretty cool. So we can see it tends to put either a big picture left, big picture right, or even a big picture on the top, and then add our title and subtitle here as well. So these look pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and create an actual slide. Let's see more designs. Now we can see if we actually break down this particular slide here. So how can we recreate a slide like this? This slide, basically we have a picture. We have what looks like either a shape or a text box here. We have a triangle shape down here as well. That's pretty much what these are. They're a combination of content placeholders, images, and different types of shapes. Now, when you create a custom slide in the Slide Master, when you actually insert that slide, you will not be able to interact with the picture or any of the other objects that you insert on there. Let's go ahead and head on over to the Slide Master. I'll close the designer here. I'll click on the View tab. I'll go back to Slide Master. Now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and insert a layout. If I hover over that, it tells me that I can add a custom layout to the master slide set. Once it's created, I can easily add slides that match the new layout to my presentation. Well, I'll go ahead and click on Insert Layout here. And we can see that it inserted a new layout for us. All it has on here is just the title. It's blank. We have the footers down here as well. Date, custom message, and page number in here. I'm going to rename this right away. Again, I want this to be a custom title slide that I can reuse over and over again. So I'll right click on here and I'll rename this layout and I'll call this one Title 2. And there we go. So I'm going to, I think what I will want is a big picture on the top. And then I want my title on the bottom right, and then my subtitle. And maybe I'll go ahead and add a logo over here as well. So that's what I'll do. So to do that, I'll go ahead and click on the Insert tab. I'll look for a stock image, and I want something related to learning. I know exactly the picture I want, so I'll scroll down. Here it is. Nice chalkboard here. Beautiful colors that are in here. I'll go ahead and insert that one. You can insert any picture you want. So this picture is actually very, very good. It actually takes up the entire slide. Sometimes you insert a picture and it's more fit to either align it to the left or to align it to the top. So I do want to, what I'm going to do is crop this picture because I don't have any space down here. I do not want to overlay the text on it. So I'm going to cut out, I don't want to cut out the chairs though. They look really nice. I'll cut out, maybe I'll crop the bottom and just a little bit from the top here as well. That will give me a little bit of room to be able to add my title, subtitle, and my logo as well. So I'll click on the picture format and I'll click on the cropping tool here. There we go. And I'll crop it from the bottom, go to about here. And I'll come down to about here. I'll click away from it. There we go. I'll move it up to the top here. And that's pretty good. I could probably even crop it a little more, but I'll keep it simple here. Now I want to go ahead and find my title. So my title is hiding behind my picture. So if I move my picture, I'll see my title there. So what I'll do is turn on the selection pane. I can click on picture format and turn on the selection pane. I also have it under my designs here. So I'll just turn on the selection pane. I'll go ahead and locate my title. And once I have it selected, I can use the arrow keys on my keyboard, just move it down. I can also just bring it forward if I want to. But for now, I'll just go ahead and move it down here to the bottom. I do want to align it to the right. So I'll bring it to the right here. Doesn't need to be that big either. Maybe I'll go to about the middle of the slide. And as far as the text, I'll make that 32. And I'll also bring it up here as well. I'm going to turn off my footers. So if I go back to the slide master, I can toggle the footers off here. Just going to turn them off for now. Don't really need them right now. But that's pretty much how you would insert footers from the slide master. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and insert another placeholder. This will be for my subtitle. So I want a text placeholder. I'll draw it down here. This is going to be just a level 1 item. So I'll delete all of the other levels here. And this is not a bulleted list. I'll use my quick toolbar here to remove the bullets. And as far as the text, I want to pick up one of the colors from the picture here. So I'll use the eyedropper and I'll pull in the color here as well. So I'm good to go. That looks pretty good. I'll go ahead and align this a little more to the right. Now I'll go ahead and insert an icon. Something to do with learning. I'll go ahead and grab this one. So this is another type of object. And this one's giving me issues as well. So I'll click on the graphic. I use my arrow keys to kind of move that around here. And maybe what I'll do is align that to the bottom and then to the left here. I'm good to go. If I wanted to do something else, like add a little accent, I can do that. So I'll just insert a shape to kind of show what that looks like. I'll put a little, let's see, let me just a line. I'll draw a line right through here. There we go. All right, it looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and close the slide master. Now let's go ahead and insert that. So I'll click on new slide, and here's my title 2. If I insert that, that's what it looks like. And it looks pretty good. So if I wanted to make any changes, I can simply go back into the slide master, click on this slide and move things around. But here I can go ahead and add my content. And I'll say community day. I'll say something like learn with us as well. Notice I cannot interact with the icon here or that line shape or that picture. The only things I can interact with are the content placeholders. So when you're designing, if you add any shapes or images or any objects, they remain flat on the canvas, which makes it possible for us to create these types of designs here as well. Go ahead and create a custom title. Make any changes if you need to. For example, if I wanted to go ahead and go back to the slide master. So if I wanted to maybe align my text to the right. And once I close the master view and go back, I can see now it's aligned to the right as well. Go ahead and insert a custom title, slide or 2. Go ahead and insert it and come right back. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and move on to lesson number 3, customizing design templates. Now, when you're creating a template in PowerPoint, typically you're saving a couple of slide layouts. You're also creating and saving a theme and a design as well. We want to go ahead and lock in the layouts that we've created so far. So if we click on new slide, here's our title, our custom title slide, and here's our 3 content layout as well. But what if we wanted to make some other changes, such as change the color scheme that's available and maybe change the font for the entire presentation? I did apply the Georgia font to all of my titles. We can see it's Georgia. But for everything else, it's the default font style here for PowerPoint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create my own theme. by choosing my own colors and fonts. And then we'll go ahead and save this as a template. I'll head on over to the Slide Master. I'll click on the View tab, go back to Slide Master. So at this point, what I want to do, I want to go ahead. I can either choose a theme. So let's preview those first. If I click here and I simply choose one of these themes, I can see how the theme will update all of my slides for me. But what if I'm not finding a theme that I want? What if I want to use my own colors and my own fonts? Typically, that's what we will do in the Slide Master. I'll click on the colors here. And you can see I have some different palettes to choose from. So depending, maybe I'm trying to brand this presentation and I want a particular color set. I can go ahead and choose one of these existing ones here as well. Additionally, if I want to, I can even take it a step further. I can create my own color palette. The way to do that is by clicking on Customize Colors. Once you're here, we just need to go ahead and name it and go ahead and choose all these colors that we want. So this is typically where you would put your company colors to be able to brand the presentation. Once you do that, it will appear in the custom area. And as you can see, I have a couple of color palettes here. Okay, right now, I just want to choose an existing palette. And I'm going to go ahead and I'll go with the blue 2. So I've chosen my color set. Now, every time I want to modify something, I'll see that those colors are now available. I want to choose my own font as well. So I'll go ahead and click on Fonts. And I want to use the Georgia font, not just for this particular slide, but all of my slides. So I'll scroll down to, I already have Georgia here, I'll click here. Now we can see everything now is Georgia. If I go back to my Slide Master here, I can see it's Georgia here as well. So basically I chose my own color palette, I chose my own font. If I want to, I can even add an effect. I'll go for a glossy effect. These effects, they're very subtle. They appear in things like charts and tables and other types of visuals, not really for text here as well. So that's it. So from here, what I can do is I can go ahead and lock all this in by saving this as a template. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and click on the File tab. Then I'll go ahead and click on Save As. And I can do it there if I want to, or I can press the F12 key on my keyboard. Now, once I'm here, what I need to do is simply change the presentation type. So I want to save the type, not as a PowerPoint presentation, but as a PowerPoint template. So I'll click on this drop down first. I'll scroll down to PowerPoint template. Here it is. Now notice when I change this to a template save type, it automatically jumps to the folder, the default folder that houses all of my custom office templates here as well. So we don't want to change that location. The only thing we want to do is go ahead and rename it and press save. So I'll go ahead and leave this as the name. I'll press save. And that's it. So this has been saved as a template. The next time I open PowerPoint, right from my start screen, I can see that template. And now I'll have all of the colors, fonts, effects, slide layouts, custom slides. Any changes that I've made will be locked into the template. Going to go ahead and close the master view. Then the next thing to do is to be able to find our templates. I'll click on the File tab here, and you'll notice it appears right here on your recent files from the home button there. So what I like to do is I like to go ahead and pin it right away. So it will always show up on my pinned files. I'll go ahead and pin that. There we go. So now it's pinned. If I click on my pinned files, I can see it in here. It's right here. So I can always access that file. The traditional way to access your templates is to click on the New tab here. And when you go down, we'll notice that we have Office templates. So this is from Microsoft's gallery. We want custom. So if I have existing templates, click on the New tab, click on Custom, and then I'll have my custom Office templates. If I click right here, here are the different templates. Here's the recent one that I created. And basically the way that this works is if I were to open this file, PowerPoint will produce a copy of that presentation for me. The original template will remain untouched here as well. So that's the benefit of working with a template. We can reuse it over and over and over again. If we want to make any changes to the template, we can go ahead and open it from the folder structure on our computer and make any changes and resave it. And that template will be updated here as well. So go ahead and go back into the slide master. Go ahead and choose a color scheme, choose a font. Go ahead and save your presentation as a template and just confirm that you can see it in your custom templates folder. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and move on to lesson 4, creating infographics. We're going to create SmartArt and then we will go ahead and modify SmartArt. And once we're finished, we'll have the capability to animate SmartArt as well. Now, what exactly is SmartArt? SmartArt is a way of creating infographics in Microsoft PowerPoint. So really, there's no need to search the web for an infographic. We have an extensive library in PowerPoint that you can use to create your own infographics. We want to get to this library of SmartArt graphics that we can create. We can see that we have different sections, such as if you want to express an infographic as a list, a process, a cycle, so forth and so on. What we'll talk about is how we can convert SmartArt from existing content. And we'll also take a look at how we can go ahead and insert a SmartArt graphic and then add our own content to it. So an infographic is basically text accompanied by either shapes or images. So in this example, I have a basic list here, just step 1, step 2, and step 3, very generic. We're going to convert this into an infographic and we'll watch it evolve as we do that. So I can either express my steps here in the form of a bulleted list as such, or what I can do, I'm going to go ahead and highlight my list and then I'll use Microsoft to convert this into an infographic. To do that, I need to first highlight my list. And on the Home tab in the Paragraph command group, here is SmartArt. If you hover over it, it tells you exactly what it does. Converts text on your slide to a SmartArt graphic, such as a diagram, flowchart, so forth and so on. If I click on the drop down, I see just a short list of infographics that I can create. For example, here's the first one, a vertical bullet list. So as you can see, if I were to choose this one, I'll get those really nice rounded rectangle shapes there to accompany my text. Here's another type, vertical block list. So we have smaller rounded rectangles. And if we wanted to add a picture to it, we can go ahead and do that here as well. So lots of different graphics in here. It's time to explore and see what is available. Some of these are different. Here's an org chart. So if you want to create an organization chart, you can pretty much do that in PowerPoint. Here's another variation, hierarchy. So we can express something as a list, a hierarchy, a process, a cycle. So lots of different options that we can use here. I'm going to go ahead and click on more SmartArt graphics. Let's take a look at the library to get an understanding of what we can do. So here's the full SmartArt library, and basically PowerPoint is asking us to choose a SmartArt graphic. Well, we can choose whether we want to express something as a list, something as a cycle, or even as a matrix. So different ones here. When you click on the list, so in this case, I want to express something as a process. Step 1, to 3. I have a basic process here. Here's a preview of what this would look like. On the bottom, we have a brief explanation of how this SmartArt graphic works. Here's the second one, a step up process. We have a step down process here as well. Now, when you're creating an infographic, you can keep it very simple, or you can make it more complex. So as we can see down here, we have some more complex infographics or SmartArt. And we can see that we have a more in-depth explanation of how this works. It's all based on levels. So when you're creating a list, it's all based on level 1, 2, or 3 items. So different SmartArt graphics will incorporate different levels. Some only allow 1 or 2, some will allow more than 2 as well. For relations, we can see we have some really complex ones in here, such as a balance scale. And we have a lot of verbiage here kind of explaining how that works. So what I'd like for you to do, go ahead and highlight your text. And then go ahead and try out some of the different SmartArts. We can always change it once we select one. So if I select the vertical bullet list here, I can always change it a little later. So go ahead and check them out. If you're feeling adventurous, click on the More SmartArt Graphics here and take a look at the different options that are available and come right back. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and create an infographic here. I'm going to go ahead and highlight my text and I'll start with a vertical bullet list here. Now, when you start with your SmartArt graphic, you'll notice that we have a SmartArt Design contextual tab. So just like all of the other objects, we can change the layout. We can change the style. So as you can see, we have a white outline. We have a glossy effect here, a shadowy effect. So there's a lot of different things that we can do here. We can change the colors. And over here on the far left is where we can basically control our SmartArt graphic. So if we wanted to add another shape or move things around, we can do that as well. But I want to introduce you to our little text pane here on the left. And basically this is how I prefer to manage my SmartArt graphic. So again, it's based on the levels here. I only have level 1 items in here. If you're not seeing this text pane, just make sure to go ahead and click on this little arrow here, and this will open up the text pane for you. So I'll click here, and there we go. If I wanted to do something like add another step, I can just add another bullet there. And as you can see, it's already adding that 4th shape for me. So if I say step 4, I can do that as well. Now, if I continue working with the list, if I press the Enter key after step 1, and I press Tab over, so now I have a level 2 item. The level 2 item has its own, not really a shape, but just a small area here that we can use. So I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to remove step 4. So I'll delete step 4 from my list. You'll notice the shape goes away. And for step 1, I'm just going to go ahead and put a level 2 item for each of my steps here. I'll keep it simple here. And as a matter of fact, if I already had a bulleted list, I can copy and paste it in here if I wanted to. And that will actually create the SmartArt graphic for me as well. But for here, I'll keep it simple. I'll just go with a project management template here. So I'll define the project. Step 2, I'll tab over and I'll say identify stakeholders. And for step number 3, I'll go ahead and add tasks. So that's how the SmartArt graphic works. So we have 3 here. So that's the simple way that we can modify it. Now, what I can do, if you want to move things around, well, what you can do is click on one of the shapes here, and on the SmartArt Design tab over here on the far left, this is where we can do things like move this down on the list, or we can move it up, or we can promote or demote, or we can add a shape. So we can either manage the list here to manage the SmartArt, or we can use the create graphic command group to manage the SmartArt as well. So for example, if I wanted to move step 1 down, notice how it moves the level 1 and the level 2 item down as well. I can go ahead and move that back up. And maybe I want to promote define project as a level 1 item. So it does it here. And it gives its own shape as well. I'll go ahead and demote that and I'm good to go. So that's the basics of how we use the text pane to modify SmartArt. Now let's take a look at something else here. Let's click on the SmartArt Design tab. And what if I want to change the colors? I'll go ahead and change the colors. I'll click on the color palette here. And we have 3 options for the primary colors based on the theme that we currently have selected. Just get the preview, see what that looks like. And then we have 5 colorful palettes to choose from. So these are all incorporating the accent colors based on the theme that you have selected. If I scroll down, we have different variations of each accent color. So it's really up to you what you want to use. I typically like to use the colorful scheme here as well. Once we change the colors, we can head on over to SmartArt styles. And as you can see, there's a few styles to choose from here. The first one gives a white outline and a little shadow as well. So it makes it look pretty nice. And then we have a subtle effect. Here's the moderate effect. And it gets more intense as we go to the right. So this one has a gloss and it also has a shadow. And we have polished, and gets a little more interesting as we go through here as well. So different orientations of the SmartArt graphic. I'll go back. I'll just choose the moderate effect here as well. So that is how we insert and modify SmartArt. Go ahead and create your own SmartArt graphic and come right back. In our last lesson, we saw how we can create an infographic from existing content. Let's go ahead and move on to the next slide. And this time we'll go ahead and insert SmartArt and then add our content. Now I can click on SmartArt right here inside of my content placeholder. That will insert my SmartArt for me. I can also click on the Insert tab. And in the Illustrations command group, here's the SmartArt here as well. I'll go ahead and click on the Insert a SmartArt graphic right from my content placeholder. And again, here's the entire library of what we can go ahead and insert. I want to express something as a process. So lots of different processes here that I can use. We can integrate pictures in there as well. We'll get to pictures in just a little bit. Let's go ahead and keep it simple. I'll go ahead and insert a step up process. I'll go ahead and press OK. So here's the shell of our SmartArt. Again, we have the SmartArt contextual tab. And over here, we have our little text pane. Now what I can do, I can either type the information in here, or I already have the information I want. I'll go back to my other slide. I'll open up the text pane for this SmartArt graphic. And I'll just copy and paste this list right into here. So if you already have an existing list, you can simply copy and paste it in here. What I want to do first though is press Ctrl A inside of my text pane here and delete everything first, because if I paste it in, it's going to just append that to the existing SmartArt. So I'll go ahead and right click and I'll go ahead and use the destination theme, and there's my SmartArt graphic. So all my levels are intact here as well. So that looks pretty good. But what if I want to go ahead and change this SmartArt graphic to something else? I'll go ahead and click on the SmartArt Design tab here. And right over here under Layouts, I'll get some similar layouts that I can choose from. So I'll go ahead and maybe choose this first one here. Here's the step down process. That's what that would look like. Here's the accent process. That looks pretty good as well. And here's the picture accent process. So this actually incorporates pictures. I'll go ahead and click on this one. And so now we're given another shape with a picture placeholder. So I'm going to go ahead and take it a step further. I'll use 3 images that kind of communicate defining the project, identifying, and tasks here as well. So to do that, I'll go ahead and click on the placeholder either here or on my text pane here, doesn't matter. I'll go ahead and click here. And I can either insert in a picture or I can use an icon. I prefer to use an icon because they're always the same size, 1 inch by 1 inch. Pictures, we may need to crop the pictures to make them fit inside of our SmartArt graphic. So I'll go ahead and grab an icon here. Here's my icon library. So I want something that represents defining defining the project. So I'll search for, let's see, target. There we go. Like this graphic, I'll go ahead and choose this one. I'll choose the fill colored one as opposed to the outline. So I'll go ahead and choose this here. Here's my graphic behind it. For the next one, I'll look for a search icon. Search or find. And because we want to go ahead and identify the stakeholders. So maybe I'll use this one. A little hard to see it. Maybe I'll change that. And the last one should be pretty simple to find. I'll just type tasks. I'll get a couple of task lists here as well. I'll go for this one. Yeah, that looks okay. Go ahead and insert that. So here are my 3 icons. I think I'm going to go ahead and change my second icon here. There we go. I have to first select it. Now I can right click on it and I can change the graphic from icons. And I'll type find. Probably going to have the same issue. You know what? Let's see. Look for community. There we go. Maybe I'll go with this one. Identify stakeholders. And there we go. So that's how we can change the SmartArt graphic to another layout. And this is how we can integrate pictures in here as well. Now, I want to make this look a little nicer. So I'll go ahead and change the colors. I'll give it a colorful palette here. There we go. So that looks pretty nice. Now I can, if I wanted to, I can make changes to the individual objects here. So the arrow, all of these, I can go ahead and change. So if I wanted to go ahead and change the color of this icon, notice that we have the graphics format tab here that's available. If I wanted to do that, I can simply go ahead and recolor it by applying a style or giving it a different graphic fill color. If I wanted to here. If I wanted a standard color, I can go ahead and do that as well. So that's what we can do. So we can change the color. We can have SmartArt just kind of update the colors for us. I'll go ahead and give this a white outline. That looks pretty nice. And now the beauty of this is once I have my SmartArt, if I want to go ahead and change it, I can. So if I wanted to change this graphic, it's a matter of just hovering over the different ones and see which one I like here. That looks pretty nice as well. Sometimes when you add a picture and you change the SmartArt, any type of arrows will show up in the form of that picture. It's not really happening here, but so pretty nice. Let's see if there are any other picture ones here. Here's another picture. So this is a ascending picture process. So there we go. Now if I wanted to, I can go ahead and just click on more layouts. This looks pretty nice, this gear icon here as well. I'll go ahead and click on more layouts. and I'll look for some of the other SmartArt graphics that are available in the picture command group. And I'll take a look at those. So here's another type here. Don't really like that. Not all these will work because, again, some of them have their own type of requirements and they only allow a certain amount of levels. So it's just a matter of once you incorporate those pictures, choose the layout that you like, and we're good to go. I'll go ahead and stick with this one. And maybe I'll change the colors here as well. And there we go. So go ahead and insert your SmartArt. Go ahead and insert some icons or even some images. See what they look like and come right back. Welcome to Module 4. For Module 4, we'll go ahead and explore working with media and animations. Video. Collaborating on a presentation. We'll customize our slideshow behavior. So what are some of the things that we can kind of establish before we run our slideshow? And then we'll wrap up by using some of the newer tools to automate a slideshow. Go ahead and open up the Module 4 practice file and come right back. We'll dive right into Module 4. Here's my Module 4 practice file. I'll jump into slide number 2, which is Lesson 5. So for Lesson 5, it's all about working with media. We'll go ahead and insert a local video file, and then we'll insert an online video here as well. To insert media, we want to get to this media command group that can be found on the Insert tab. And over here, we can insert videos from our device, from the stock library. Also, online videos, we'll take a look at the different sources that we're able to stream videos from. When it comes to audio, you can either record your own audio using your microphone, or you can go ahead and upload an audio file from your computer as well. And we also have the screen recording tool, which we'll take a look at in just a little bit here. I'm going to take advantage of the content placeholder here, and I'll insert my video by clicking on the Insert Video Content Placeholder. So this allows me to basically upload a video from my computer locally. So I'll go ahead and insert this video here. And here is my video. Now, once we insert the video, we can resize it. It's an object, just like all of the other objects that we've been interacting with. So as expected, we have a contextual tab. We actually have two. One is for video format and one is for playback. Well, if I click on video format, I can do things like, choose a quick style. I can place it in an oval if I want to, or maybe give it a nice reflection, a simple shadow, or just a simple frame here as well. So I can do any of those things. Well, I want to go ahead and just run this slide and let's see what this actually looks like. So I'll go ahead and I'll run this in reading mode. And I'll go ahead and play my video. So as we can see, I can have some basic controls here, such as I can play it, I can skim through it, and I can also adjust the volume here as well. So this is kind of the default out of the box. Let's go ahead and make some formatting changes to it here as well. I'll press escape, come back here. So if I click on here, maybe the first thing I'll do, I'll click on video format. I'll go ahead and put this in a frame. Maybe I'll put it in we'll go for this rounded rectangle here. So I'll put it in that frame. I can make it bigger if I want to as well. So I've placed it in a frame. And over here, I can go ahead and play it to get a nice preview of what it would look like. Just like with our image tools, I can go ahead and give it some corrections, make it brighter, or have more contrast as well. I can even recolor it if I want to. Then we have some other pretty nice tools here as well. But that's about it for the video format. I just want to give it a quick style. I'll go to the playback here. And when we click on the playback contextual tab, we can see that we have some editing tools here that we can use, such as trimming the video, fading in and out, And then we have some other video options here. This will basically establish how the video behaves once we get to this slide. Let's take a look at the trim video feature. I'll click on trim video. And in this particular video, there was a lot of white space in the beginning. So maybe I don't want to start. Maybe I want to start maybe right about here. I'll start with that question. What brought you to Learnit today? So maybe right about there. Right. So just by moving that slider, I'm starting at 14.9 seconds here as well. At the end, I had some more space in here as well. Maybe I'll stop right here as soon as the Learnit logo appears. And that's it. I can even use these little arrows to kind of determine the starting point, if that helps a little better. I'll go ahead and press OK. And let's preview it. There you go. So it started with the question as opposed to starting from the very beginning there as well. All right. So I already trimmed the video. I'll go ahead and establish the volume. I'll make sure that the volume is medium. Don't want it to be high for my audience. And I want it to play automatically. So whenever I navigate to the slide, this will play automatically here as well. And I want to play it in full screen mode. So I can go ahead and do that. And I'm good to go. So let's go ahead and run this in reading view. Let's see what this looks like. So there you go. So we can see that the volume has been set to medium and it's playing in full screen here. And it also played automatically. So I'll go ahead and escape and go back to my slide here as well. So go ahead and insert a video. Hopefully you have one. Go ahead and insert it. Take a look at the different tools under the video format tab and go ahead and trim the video. Make it start automatically and also go ahead and play it full screen and come right back. In this segment, we'll go ahead and insert online video. Now, I'm actually going to insert a new slide. So I'll just press Control M, insert a new slide. I'll change this layout to title only because I want to insert a nice big online video here from our YouTube site. So this will be an online video. So to insert an online video, if I click on the Insert tab and here is video. So I have the option to insert video from the online stock videos, or I can grab from various sources here as well. I'll click on online videos and we'll kind of just preview what's available in the stock video library. I'll click on online videos here. And we're giving some information. So these are the different sources that we can stream video from. So YouTube, SlideShare, Vimeo, Stream, and Flip. So we basically need to grab the address or the URL of that video and paste it in here. Once we paste it in here, we'll get a nice preview of the video, just ensuring that we have the correct one. So I'm going to go ahead and jump over to our YouTube page with the video that I want to stream here. There we go. So this is the video. We'll go ahead and play this here.
Learnit Training. The exercise files for today.
Okay. So to grab the video address, I can just right click here and I'll copy the video URL. Once that's on my clipboard here, I'll head back over to my PowerPoint. So right here, I'll go ahead and paste the video. So you can right click and paste the video in there, or you can press Control V and we can see it shows up here. So here's my little tutorial on Microsoft 365 Basics. We can preview the video right here.
Welcome to Learn.
And there we go. So even though it's an hour and 26 minutes long, we're streaming it. So as long as you have an internet connection, you should be good to go. This is not being stored in our PowerPoint, so it's not taking up space as is the video that we uploaded from our computer. I'll go ahead and click on Insert. And here is my video. So I can either have it take up the entire slide like that, or I can go ahead and resize it. If I click on the video format, I can still do things like I can correct it. I can recolor it if I want to. I can even go ahead and place it in a frame. So maybe I want to place it in a frame like this. I can do that, or a simple frame. Now, if I click on the playback tab here, notice that these options over here, they're grayed out. So none of the editing controls. The only thing I can do really is to just decide whether I want this to play in sequence, meaning I have to click on it, or if I want it to play automatically here as well. I'll go ahead and choose automatically. So we don't have all the tools because we don't really, this video is being streamed. We don't own the video, so we cannot edit it here as well. I'll go ahead and click on my reading view here, and let's see what this looks like.
Welcome to Learnit Training. The exercise files for today's.
There we go. So we can kind of fast forward. Right? So depending on your internet connection, you should be good to go. All right, I'll go ahead and press escape here. I'll press escape again to go back to my slide. So that is how we insert an online video from those different sources as well. Again, we can play it. It works well right from the stream. We just don't have all of the normal bells and whistles that we have if we actually own the video. I'm going to go ahead and delete this. I'll just press the delete key to get rid of it. And let's just take a look at the stock of online video. I'll click on the insert tab. I'll go back over to video, and let's take a look at some of the stock videos here. So these are not really long videos. They're pretty short, maybe in the range of 9 to 15 seconds. And let's see, I'll go ahead and grab this one here. I'll go ahead and insert this. So it took up the entire slide, but again, you can always resize it. We can, just like with our other objects, we can resize them. I'm okay with it taking up the entire slide though. That's perfectly fine. So I can go ahead and play it here. And this is going to be about 9 seconds, just a little over 9 seconds here as well. So if I were to preview this, I'll go in reading mode. So there you go. Pretty cool. I'll press the escape key and let's see what options we have available. So this is from the stock. So we can still do the same things with the video format. We can place it in a frame if we want to. Maybe I'll put it in a frame like that. We have the corrections that we can use as well. And as far as playback, because this is from the stock, we do have the capability to trim the video. So we can actually trim the video if we want to. We can specify when it starts, when it ends. Right. We can also opt to play it full screen. So all of the other options that we have there are pretty much good to go here as well. Right. Now, one of the things is we have what's called a poster frame, and this allows us to basically put a poster on the first glance at the video here. So if I wanted to maybe show this part, I can go ahead and click on poster frame, and I'll say this will be the starting frame for my actual video here. You can also go ahead and insert an image. So if you wanted to insert an image from file, that's basically what you'll see before you actually play the video. So if I click play here, there we go. So that's what it's all about, inserting videos into your PowerPoint presentation, either the stock library, online sources, or a video locally from your device. The screen recording is a really nice tool in PowerPoint. Many of us are not aware that we can actually record our screen. No need to buy an expensive program. We have one built in right here. After we record our screen, it will insert the recording right onto our slide for us here as well. So if I click on screen recording, it's going to minimize my PowerPoint window, and whatever is in the background will be brought to the front here as well. I'll click on screen recording. Let's take a look at what's available. So as you can see, when we're recording the screen, we can select the area of our screen that we want to record. Mine is already pre-selected. If you want to record your audio, your voice, via your microphone, you can go ahead and turn on the audio. And if you want to record your mouse pointer, you can go ahead and record that as well. I'll record my audio. I'll record my pointer here as well. And I'll go ahead and select my area. But first, what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and just kind of resize my window here for Microsoft Edge. And I'm going to bring it down. One of the things that happens with the screen recorder, this little toolbar here gets in the way sometimes when you're recording. So I want to make sure that my recording area is below that box. So I'll go ahead and reselect my area. I'll just draw a box around my Microsoft Edge window here, like that. And there we go. So what you can do if you want to record your entire screen, when you want to stop or pause your recording, you can use the shortcut key. So Windows logo, Shift+Q, that will stop the recording for you. This way you don't have to go back to the top of your screen, expose this little toolbar here and click on stop recording, because that will show up on your recording. At least the last time I did it, that's what happened. I'll go ahead and click on record. I'll get a countdown. I'll get a quick reminder of what the shortcut is to stop the recording. Let's go ahead and do that. So in this case, I'll just demonstrate how to sign up for a course at Learnit.com. Let's get started on how to sign up for a course at Learnit.com. Let's first go to www.learnit.com. Once we're here, we can either go ahead and sign in or register, or if you want to go ahead and view all classes, we can click here. Once we're here, we can search for a class of interest, or we can scroll down to see our upcoming courses here as well. Here's an Excel introduction course. I'll go ahead and click on here. So it gives me the details, what will be covered, and it also shows the upcoming schedule for these classes as well. Maybe I'll go ahead and take a little break, and then in February, I want to go ahead and take this course. So I'll click on my little plus icon here to add this to the cart, and I'll remove the other one. I'll go to checkout. And from here, I simply just need to go ahead and click on the next step and continue the login, registration, payment, and confirmation process, and I am good to go. And that's all to it. So there we go. I was able to do just a small recording there, about 1 minute and 15 seconds. You can see it inserts the recording for us right here onto the slide. Again, we can resize this if we want to. Doesn't necessarily have to take up the entire screen. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and center it. Kind of align things a little better here on the slide. There we go. And so we can go ahead and play it. And as we can see, it records my voice, records my, let's first go to my cursor as well. www.learnit.com. So really, really nice tool. Now, because we inserted this screen recording, we have all of the tools, all of the editing tools, right? So if we wanted to trim the video, we can kind of preview it, make sure everything looks good. If it doesn't, we can always go ahead and just trim different parts of the video here as well. We have all of the other tools that we can go ahead and use, as we mentioned before. If you have offline captions, you can go ahead and insert captions for the video as well. So it's a really nice tool to use as a learning or as a help aid, right? So a really nice option here as well. Go ahead and take advantage of the screen recording tool. Go ahead and upload 1 or 2. The good thing is once we're done, we can go ahead and save this. So if you make any changes to it, on the playback tab, we can click on Save Media As. You can do the same thing by right-clicking on the video and clicking on Save Media As. We can save it as a media file, or we can even save it as a picture here as well. Right. So we can save it as a picture. We can save the media as a media file. So pretty cool. Go ahead and play around with the screen recording tool and come right back. Welcome back, and let's go ahead and move on to lesson number 6. So we'll talk about collaborating on a PowerPoint presentation here. So there's a couple of things that we need to do. We first need to go ahead and save our presentation to OneDrive. And after we do that, we can go ahead and share the presentation. And once we have uploaded it to either OneDrive or SharePoint, we can share it, and we can go ahead and view different versions of the file here as well. So you can either click on the File tab and click on Save As. Go ahead and save it to one of your OneDrive spaces. Or if you have the share icon here, if you click on Share, it's going to first ask you to go ahead and upload it to your OneDrive, and then you can share it. I'll go ahead and save it, and then I'll come back once I have that saved. Now that I have it saved, what I can do is click on the share icon here. So I'll go ahead and click on Share, and we get to this dialog box. Now this dialog box has had some changes recently. Looks a little different, but this is the modern version of it here. So what I can do is I first need to decide, well, who do I want to share this document with? How do I want to share it? And what type of access do I want them to have? Right? So I can either copy a link and send that link out via email or by Teams, chat, or any other medium. And anyone that has that link, they can either edit or they can view the particular file here. Well, this is collaboration. I want to go ahead and send it to Adele, who's on my Sandbox account. So I'll go ahead and type in Adele here. I'll make sure that Adele can edit to make changes. And I'll just say, please edit. And that's pretty much it. Once I go ahead and press send, I'm good to go. If I want more advanced options, I can go ahead and click on the sharing settings here, and I'll have some other options. But I have everything I need just on this very first window here. I'm sending this via Outlook to Adele, edit access, and I'm going to go ahead and send it here. All right. So I'll go ahead and close this out. Let's head on over to Adele's mailbox. See if we get that message here. I'll go ahead and refresh. Here it is. So it just came in. This is what the message looks like. A file has been shared with you. Here's the custom message. I'll go ahead and click on Open here. And this will open up online. Now my recipient will have the option, if they want to open in the desktop app, they can do that as well. But to keep it simple, we'll just open the file here in the web. And here we go. So here's Adele's version of the file. And Adele can see that I'm working in here. My avatar appears here because I'm currently in the file and I'm working on it. If I scroll down, we can see exactly I'm currently on this slide for lesson 6. Well, that's where we need to go. So I'll go ahead in here and I'll add a task. So I'll say task 2. And the owner here will be Adele. And I'll say that this has not yet started. And progress is 0%. So let's see what that looks like. I'll go back to my desktop copy here. Now you can see the changes have already been made. I can see that Adele is showing up as a guest contributor. And I can see Adele is right here on slide number 5. Right? So I'll go ahead and put myself in here. And we can keep on editing here as well. Right? So task 3 is going to be Nestor. Now what I can do, if I click on the Review tab, I can add comments in here. Right? So maybe I want to add a comment regarding task number 3. I'll go ahead and put a comment in here. And I'll say, please confirm with Nestor. So this is the whole concept behind collaborating. You can comment in here, we can work on the file together, and we're good to go. Let's go back to the, let's see here. Let's click on the review tab and let's click on show comments. Right, so here are the comments here as well that we can see. So that's pretty cool. So we can go ahead and make some changes. I'll go ahead and reply to this and I'll say, I will take care of that. Go ahead and post the reply here as well. And so there we go. So it's a matter of saving to OneDrive and or SharePoint, sharing the document with edit access, and being able to mark up the document at the same time here as well. I could even see the notes that are in here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the different versions of the document. I'll go back to here. I'll click on the File tab and I'll click on Info. And now what I can see is the version history. Right, so on the Info tab, here's the version history of the document. Now let's see what versions have been captured so far. I'll click here. And so far, since I uploaded it and saved it, I can see that 3 versions have been saved. Here's the version as of 11.05, 11.09, and 11.11 as well. Right? So what I can do is I can go ahead and open a older version here. Let's see what this one looks like. So right now we have 3 tasks. So this kind of opens up that version. So we can see the current version has 3 tasks. This version only has 2 tasks in here. So this is pretty helpful because sometimes some changes are made that are just too drastic and you want to be able to fall back to a prior version. And so the fact that the versions are being saved automatically is a really, really big help here as well. If I wanted to restore this version, I can click on restore. This would make this the current version here as well. But I don't want to do that. I just want to go back to the other version here. So I'll go ahead and close this out. And it brings me back to my updated version. I'll go ahead and close this pane here and I am good to go. Now what I can do is, let's see, if I go over to the File tab, click back on Info, and I click on Protect here. So what I can do is I can mark this as final, but everyone will need to be logged out first. So I can let all of my collaborators know that there's no more changes being made to this document. We're marking it as final here as well. Right? Now while we're here, it's good to take a look at these things. We can see on the Info tab here, we have the media size and performance. We can see that we have 68 megs here. The entire presentation is currently 71 megs, mostly because of the screen recording and that video that we uploaded earlier as well. I'll go back here. And so that's how you collaborate on a document. For lesson 7, we'll talk about customizing slideshow behavior. So what we'll discuss is some of the things that we can do before we run our slideshow and some things that we can do during our slideshow as well. So sometimes you may notice when you're running your slideshow, your presenter window is either turned off or turned on, or it's showing up on the wrong monitor. Well, those are things that we can use to set up a slideshow. To set up a slideshow, let's click on the Slideshow tab here. And we have an entire section here devoted to setup. Now, we can go ahead and click on Setup Slideshow, and it's going to be a combination of all of these different things here, using timings, using the presenter view, things like that here as well. Let's click on Setup Slideshow. And we're presented with this dialog box here, and there's a couple of different areas. So how do we want to run the presentation? By default, when you run your presentation, it takes up the entire screen. But if you wanted to kind of have it run in reading mode, you can choose this second option, right? It just runs in a window. That way it doesn't take up your entire screen. You can resize it. And then if you wanted to just kind of loop on maybe a big TV, you can go ahead and use the browse at a kiosk. So it's full screen. You'll notice when you check that option, it's automatically going to loop until you stop the slideshow. Right? So you may walk into a building at a corporation, you may see the same slideshow running over and over and over again. It's in kiosk mode. Right, I'll go back to presented by a speaker, full screen. And then over here for show slides, you can determine which slides you want to show. You can leave it just for all, or we can say I only want to show slides 1 to 5. Or we can do that or show everything here as well. We don't have any custom shows in here. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. If we create some custom shows, we can choose to run the custom show as well. So these things just kind of gives you some confidence as you're running your slideshow, because maybe you don't want certain slides to show up on this particular presentation. Now, in terms of advancing slides, right now by default, it's going to use timings if any timings are present. So we can either adjust the timing for each slide, but we're going to go ahead and record the entire presentation. So there's really no need to rehearse the timings. Down here, if you're using multiple monitors, you want to make a choice. Do you want to use presenter view? Presenter view is a really nice thing to use because while your audience is seeing your presentation, you are taking a look at your presenter view. So you can see what's coming next, either a slide or an animation. You also have notes that you can use as talking points as well. So I'm going to go ahead and use presenter view. And my slideshow is going to run on my primary monitor. I'll leave that as is for now. I'll go ahead and press OK. And I'll go ahead and run my slideshow here. So here we can see my slideshow is running. I'll go ahead and switch the presenter view so that it's showing on this monitor. And let's take a look at the presenter view. I'll press escape. I'll go back into setup slideshow. And I want my slideshow to run on my internal display. I'll press OK. And now I'll run my presentation. So on my other screen, I have the slideshow, but here's the presenter view. And as you can see, it's pretty nice because we have any notes that we have in here. We can see what's coming up next. So this is our next slide, lesson number 8. And right here, I can just kind of navigate through my slides. If I have any animations, I can see what's coming up next as well. And so pretty nice. What I can also do, if I want to jump to a slide, I can open up my See All Slides pane right here. Now my audience will not see this, only I can see this. They're still seeing the current slide. So if I wanted to navigate to this slide, if I click on it, now that is being displayed on my audience screen here as well. Some other things I can do, I can go ahead and turn on the pen and laser and pointer tools. Right? So I can go ahead and just kind of use those here as well. We'll talk about these in just a little bit. And if I wanted to go ahead and toggle my camera, I can go ahead and turn on my camera. I can turn on the subtitles right here. So a lot of things we can do right from the presenter window. So if I toggle the subtitles, now it's going to be writing whatever I'm saying here. I'll go ahead and turn that off. Then we have some other tools here as well. Right. If you wanted to hide the presenter view, you can go ahead and do that, but we're good to go. I'll go ahead and end the slideshow from here. And those are just some of the basics when it comes to setting up a slideshow. I'll go back down to lesson number 7 here. And let's go ahead and create a custom slideshow. So over here on the slideshow tab, we have the custom show in the start slideshow command group. Right. If I click on this drop down here, I don't have any custom shows. I'll go ahead and click here. So I want to create a new custom show. Well, why would you want to create a custom show? Maybe you just have one really long, slide deck. You may have 30 slides, but maybe you divide that slide deck into 3 different sections. So instead of showing all 30 slides, maybe you just want to show the first 10. So what I can do is click on New, and I'll just call this Lesson 5. So I want my title slide, Here's lesson 5. So here are the 3 slides that make up lesson 5. I'll go ahead and add those. And now I can reorder them if I want to, move them up and down, but I'll go ahead and press OK. Now I can see I have lesson 5 in here. If I go ahead and click on show, it's only going to show those slides. So here's my presenter view. As you can see, it's only showing those 4 slides that make up that particular show. And we're good to go. So that is a custom show. Now, keep in mind, when we're setting up the slideshow, we can also say, well, let's just go ahead and run that lesson 5 custom slideshow here as well. So pretty good. Okay, let's go ahead and stop here. I want you to be able to practice. Go ahead and just set up your slideshow. Go ahead and practice. Make sure that your presenter view is turned on. It's showing on the screen of your choice. And go ahead and take a look at some of the different tools here. We'll come back and we'll go ahead and take a look at some of the annotating tools that are available while we are presenting. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and set up navigation for our slideshow. Now remember, when you are presenting, if you right click, you can pretty much go to a slide of your choice if you want to. Once we have the presenter view turned on, we can kind of jump around, but it would be nice to kind of give our audience a really nice feature called the zoom feature. Okay, so what the zoom feature is, and I'm actually going to insert a slide here. So right after my title slide, and this will be, I'll just call this my landing slide. And what I'm going to do, I'll just quickly insert some links to my different lessons here. So to do that, I'll go ahead and press Control K on my keyboard. So this will insert a hyperlink, right? So just like in the other Office documents, Excel, and Word, we can link to a place in the document. So instead of linking to an existing file or web page, I'll click on Place in this document. And now what I can do is I can link to different slides. So I want to be able to link first to lesson 5. And for the text, it says lesson 5 working with media. That's perfectly fine. I'll go ahead and leave that as is. And just like that, we have a hyperlink. I'll go ahead and press enter. I'll repeat the process for 6, 7, and 8. So I'll press Control K. To a place in the document, I want to go to lesson 6. I'll accept the text. I'll press OK. I'll do that 2 more times. Control K. This time, lesson 7. And I'll go ahead and press OK. 1 more time. Control K. And this will be for lesson 8. Right. So I have a nice little landing slide here. So basically, if I run this in reading mode, what I can do is I can click on this link while I'm presenting, and this will take me to that particular slide. Now, it would be nice if we can go back to that landing slide, have a little button that we can click on so we can always go back. Right? I want to be able to get back to this slide by just clicking on a button. So we have what's called a zoom feature. Now check this out. Look what I'm going to do here. I'll go to lesson 5. And from lesson 5, I want to be able to go back to the landing slide. I'm going to drag my landing slide. Just going to click and drag it. I can drag it right onto my slide here. Maybe I'll put it right here. Okay, and then I'll move this other icon out of the way. I'll put this down here somewhere. Right. So you're saying, Mo, what just happened? What did you just do? Just gonna position this up here at the top. So this is called a zoom feature. So now I have a link to a slide and another slide. Let's go into reading mode and let's see how this works. Here we go. So I'm here on this particular slide. And now if I want to go back to my landing slide, if I click here, So it zooms in to that slide for me. And now what I can do is I can go ahead and jump to another lesson here as well. Right? If I press the back key, it goes back to lesson 5. Or I can just go ahead and click back here and jump back to lesson 5 as well. So that is the zoom feature as well. Now what I can do if I wanted to, I can go ahead and change this. So right now it's just a picture of my slide. If I click on here, I'll notice that a zoom tab appears here as well. So maybe what I'll do is I'll go ahead and change this image to something else. And maybe I'll grab an icon. And maybe I'll look for a home icon. Maybe I'll use this one. So I've converted this to a home icon. Now I can resize it. I can even add a style to it if I want to. I'll keep it simple. I'll just put it here on the top right of my slide. And there you go. So that's my zoom feature. Now what I can do, I can actually copy this and I can paste it on lesson 6. I just need to move this out of the way. So I'll go ahead and paste this here on lesson 6. And I just copied and pasted it. Well, let's see if this still works. I'll go ahead and run this slide in reading mode. If I click on it, it brings me to my landing slide. I'll go back to lesson 6 and I'm good to go. So that's the zoom feature, right? So go ahead and create your first zoom. Go ahead and change it to an icon of your choice. Again, to do that, just click on the zoom tab, and you can change the image here as well. Go ahead and add that home button to each of your lesson slides, and now we'll be able to navigate back and forth as we are presenting. Now that we've added some navigation and we've set up some of the basics, it's time to go ahead and present and take a look at some of the tools that are available. We already discussed the presenter view. So now what we can do, let's take a look at how we can annotate a presentation, and we can enable these subtitles as well. Now we can accomplish these as well through the presenter view. I'm going to go back to my slideshow. Let's just make sure that I'll turn off my presenter view. And I want my slideshow to run on this screen. So everything is good to go. I want to make sure all of my slides are selected. And from here, if I want to, I can go ahead and choose my laser pointer color. I will be using the laser pointer. I'll be using the pen as well. So I can actually select my color ahead of time. I'll leave them both on red. I'll go ahead and press OK. You can press F5 to start your slideshow. So here's my slideshow. I'll go ahead and head on over to my next slide here just by clicking. And so here's my landing slide. I'll just go to lesson 5 here. And here's lesson 5. Now on the bottom, we have some kind of grayed out tools. So we can go to the last slide, we can go to the next slide. Here are the pen tools down here. So if I click here, I can either choose my laser pointer. Right? So I can go ahead and just kind of point on my screen. If I go back down here, I can change that to the pen. And the pen basically allows us to just kind of mark things up. So I can do things like that. Terrible arrow. Right? So we can do that. If I want to go back, I'll just uncheck the pen. Now I have my pointer back here. And now I can go ahead and either play my video or go to the next slide. I'll go to my next slide here as well. And what else do I have here? Here's the highlighter. So if I wanted to highlight something, I could turn on my highlighter, go ahead and highlight it here. And of course we can change the color. So we can change the color for all of the ink down here as well. So for my highlighter, if I wanted, instead of yellow, maybe I want orange. Here's my orange highlighter here as well that I can use. Right. Now let's go ahead and I'll get my pointer back here. So I'll unselect my highlighter. If I move over to the right, here's the slide sorter, and here are the subtitles. So I can go ahead and turn those on. And this is what my screen now looks like. This is very helpful. And we're good to go. Right. Turn on my video if I want to. And then here's some other tools. So if I wanted to transition to a custom show, I can. Even though I'm not running presenter view right now, I can still go ahead and turn that on here as well. And for the subtitle settings, I can either show them on the top where it's overlaid on my presentation, or I can change the location of it as well. Right? So maybe I'll put it be above the slide, the top like that. So we have different options that we can use here. Now, if you did mark up your slide, we do have an eraser here as well, so you can erase them individually, or you can choose to go ahead and erase all of the ink on a slide. Right. Now, keep in mind, when you are marking up your slide here, all of the ink will remain unless you remove it. So if I were to close my presentation here and go back to this slide, this arrow and this somewhat of a circle will show up as shapes here as well. So you want to make sure, it will ask you anyway before you close the presentation, do you want to remove all the ink as well? But while we're here, let's test out our navigation. Right. I'll get my pointer back here and I'll jump to let's jump to lesson number 8. And from lesson number 8, we can go back to that landing slide and jump to lesson number 5. So pretty cool. So we're zooming in and out of our landing slide. Right. If you press the back key after you go to your landing slide, it goes back to the slide that you were on before here as well. All right, I'll go ahead and end the show. I'll just go ahead and press the escape key. And it asks me right here, do I want to keep my annotations? I do not, because again, they will appear as shapes on your slide. I'll go ahead and discard them. And I am good to go. Right. So a lot of things that we just accomplished, annotating, turning on the subtitles, we can use the presenter view for that as well. And we'll see those options are also available. So go ahead and run your slideshow. When we come back, we'll put it all together. We'll take a look at how we can record our slideshow so that it can run automatically. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and move on to lesson number 8. What we want to do here is we want to go ahead and automate our slideshow. Right? So we don't want to sit and click through our slides as we're presenting. What we'd like to do is to kind of record our slideshow, and then we can go ahead and play it back and run it so that all the slides will transition automatically. So let's take a look and see how we can do that here. If I click on the slideshow tab, I have the record option here, so I can record from the beginning. And notice what it says. So records narrations, animations, transitions, ink, and laser pointer gestures. So everything that I'm doing will be recorded here as well. So we don't necessarily need to rehearse timings because now we have the recording feature that will record everything for us. So what I'm going to do, I want my recorder window to show up on here. So I'll just change this here. And then I'll go ahead and press OK, just so we can see what that looks like. I'll go back to the first slide and I'll click on record from the beginning. And this is going to open up my recording view here. Now, before we do that, I highly recommend that you use this feature called Rehearse with Coach. This is a really, really nice tool. Basically, you can practice with the AI coach. And it's very, very intuitive and very, very robust. It's going to provide you feedback to let you know if you're talking too fast, if your pace is too slow, if your voice is monotone, if you're speaking too loud, too soft, if you're using filler words. So it gives you a really, really nice report, kind of coaches you along the way. It'll say, great job, keep it up. So I highly recommend you use the Rehearse with Coach. It will allow you to go through your entire slide and you can practice with it there as well. Once you've done that, we'll go ahead and click on record, right? We can also record our slideshow from the record tab. So here's the record from the beginning. Now there's a lot of things that we can do in here. We'll just touch on a few of them. So here we can see, here is the window for our recording. Once we're ready, we just need to go ahead and click on the record button. Just a few things to note. If you wanted to turn on your camera, you can. Your camera will appear down here on the bottom right. So your image will appear down here on the bottom right as well. At the very top, when you have notes, we have a little teleprompter here that will help you as you're going through your actual slides. Now this is one view. Down here on the bottom right, there are different views. So right now this is the teleprompter view. Let's click on this drop down. The other one is the presenter view. So the presenter view, this is the one that we're accustomed to. We can kind of see what's coming next, either an animation or a next slide, and we can see what our audience is seeing here as well. Right? Then we have other things down here, laser pointer, highlighter, they're all here for us as well. The other view is the slide view. So this is just you're operating just with the slides, and you can go through it there as well. I'm going to go back to teleprompter view, and here we go. So if you want to record your microphone, you can either turn it off or you can turn it on. As well, if we click here for more options, you can select the microphone that you want to use. You can select your camera. And if you're using Cameo, which is a newer feature, you can use Cameo as well. I'm just going to do a simple recording just so that we can see what the finished product will look like here. So I'm not going to spend too much time on each slide. Here we go. Welcome to PowerPoint Module 4. My name is Mo Jones. Let's go ahead and learn together. Here's our landing slide. We have 4 lessons, lesson number 5, lesson number 6, lesson number 7, and then finally lesson number 8, automating a slideshow. Lesson 5 is all about working with media. We can either insert local video or we can insert online video. Here's my video. I can go ahead and play this here. Once I'm done, I can go ahead and move on to my next slide here. I'll go ahead and turn on my, where is my pen? So I can go ahead and just draw some shapes in here if I want to. I'll go to my next slide. Here's my notes at the top, so I can refer to that as I'm going through my slides here. So when we're inserting the screen recorder, it's a matter of getting to this particular icon here, or this command group, the media command group on the insert tab. Remember, after you insert your screen recording, to take a look at the playback options and the other formatting options as well. Lesson 6 is all about collaborating. As we can see, we can go ahead and share a file, grant editing access, and we can go ahead and mark up the file together. We can see who's in the file, where they're currently working on, and we can add comments to the file as well. Lesson number 7 is all about some of the other default settings that we can establish for our presentation as well. Don't forget about the zoom feature. We can always click on that button to go back to the slide of our choice. And then finally, for lesson number 8, I highly recommend that you record your presentation and use the Rehearse with Coach tool here as well. Now, when we finish this slideshow, it tells us to click here to export our video. So I'll go ahead and click there, and I can go ahead and export it to the location of my choice here. I'll go ahead and click on Browse. Typically, you want to upload it to your OneDrive space. I'll just put it on my desktop here. I'll just call this copy. And I'll go ahead and export that as a MP4 video. And that's going to take a little bit of time to record. Once it's finished, I'll come right back. So finally, I get the message that my video was exported successfully. So from here, I can click here to view the video and share with others as well. I'll go ahead and click here. And it's asking me, I do trust it. I'll go ahead and press yes. And it's just giving me some security messages here. I'll just go ahead and press OK to open the file. Opens up in my default media player, and here we go. So there we go. So we can see everything has been recorded as well. And we're good to go. I'll go ahead and close this out. And we're good to go. So that is how we record a slideshow. So notice now, for each slide, we'll see the actual voice note that was left on each slide. So every slide has a little recording here. So in the past, we would have to do these things kind of manually. Insert the audio, insert the timings as well. But now the recording takes care of everything for us as well. So go ahead and record your show. Go ahead and export it. And then go ahead and play it. Make sure everything is okay. If you want to go ahead and share it, feel free to do so as well. Now that we have recorded our slideshow, we see that everything was recorded. Well, we did have the option of exporting it to a media file, but something else happened as well. So if I were to go ahead and just run my slideshow, it's going to run automatically. So the timings for each slide, the voice narration on each slide, and any ink or markup that I used will be played as well. So if I did not want to play the video, I just want to go ahead and run this slide. I'll go ahead and run it here. Welcome to PowerPoint Module 4. My name is Jones. And we can see the voice narration is included. We can see the slides are moving automatically without my interaction. Lesson number 6, lesson number 7, and finally lesson number 8. Okay. Now I can still jump in if I want to, but for the most part, everything is happening automatically here as well. So I'll press escape and we're good to go. So you can either share that video or play the video, or you can just come in and actually just run your slideshow. And here's a little bit of ink that I left when I was kind of annotating my coffee cup here. So I'll just click on here and I'll just go ahead and delete that from my slide as well. If you go back to the record tab, now you'll notice that some of these other options are available. Because we did perform a recording, we can do some other things like clear the recording on the current slide, or we can clear the recording from all of the slides. Maybe we just want to go ahead and redo it, right? We can save it as a show, right? So we can create a separate slide with the PPSX extension there as well. We can export it to video from here as well. We can learn more to see what's new, what else we can do here as well. We can also use the cameo feature as well with our camera feed. So that's the benefit of recording a show. We can automate it, and we still have the capability to kind of interact with the slides, even though it's automated here as well. Just to recap, we're able to customize the PowerPoint environment. We saw how we can create our own ribbon tab and add our own command groups and our own commands as well. Even add more commands to our quick access toolbar. We took a look at the slide master. We're able to customize design templates. We're able to save a design as a template, and then we're able to create some infographics with SmartArt. We're able to work with media. We're able to collaborate on a presentation after saving the presentation to a cloud space. We're able to customize slideshow behavior, establishing some of the default settings for our slideshow. And then we're able to automate a slideshow as well. Remember to use the Rehearse with Coach tool and then go ahead and record your slideshow. Congrats on completing the course and look forward to seeing you in a future Learnit course.